This is the Jug O Sip podcast.
I did not. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
It was loosely on a true story, basically, but it's not to give too much away. But it's basically they're aspiring musicians, and they're also kind of fucking idiots. Actually, incidentally, the music in the movie was great.
Really?
But yeah. So basically, what the synopsis is aspiring rock musicians Chaz, Pip, and Rex, played by Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, and Steve Buscemi, are determined to have their band's demo tape played on the air. So out of desperation, they sneak into a LA radio station. But when the manager, Michael McKean, played by Michael McKean, who Michael McKean, please follow me. I love you so much. Lenny forever, motherfucker. He meets them with hostility and threatens them. They start no, he doesn't threaten them, but he tells them to leave and stuff. They resort to threatening him with realistic-looking water pistols, and they kind of basically end up holding this radio station hostage.
Yeah.
It was really good. And I cannot say enough about Adam Sandler, but I especially cannot say enough about Brendan Fraser, who went through a lot of shit and is an incredible actor. And I love... And Steve Buscemi, who, like I mentioned earlier, a friend of mine worked with Steve Buscemi and said he was just absolutely just as sweet as he comes off as.
Ironically, speaking of Steve Buscemi and firemen, Steve Buscemi was a former fireman.
I was about to tell that story.
In fact, Steve Buscemi, when 9/11 happened, he volunteered to help firemen during 9/11.
That is a person I could stand behind for the rest of my fucking life. I swear to God.
So if you're one of these people that's starting to believe that there are no good celebrities in this world, Steve Buscemi is a good one.
No, everybody needs to just send Steve Buscemi all the love.
Yeah.
And I cannot say enough about that one. That's definitely one you have to check out for sure.
A movie and this is one of Adam Sandler's silly movies. And when he goes silly, he goes silly. And he the only person that could rival Adam Sandler's silly is Ben Stiller, which we'll do an episode about him eventually.
Yeah, the Stillers in general.
We love the Stillers.
Especially since R.I.P. Jerry.
Jerry Stiller recently passed away, I think, I don't know, 5 days ago?
And, his wife passed a few years back.
Yeah.
I know that.
5 days ago as of this recording, rather.
Yeah.
But, so, the movie that I want to talk about now is a movie called You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Yeah, I saw parts of that. I didn't really finish it, but I just couldn't really get into it.
That movie is so damn silly. It's literally, okay, Adam Sandler plays an Israeli secret super agent. He can dodge bullets. He can kick people without bending over. He's
a badass.
He's a badass. He's crazy. But that was just a silly movie. And the reason I bring that up is because it's piggybacks on something Lindsey said earlier. When you're an actor who does comedy or drama, people want to lock you in to certain roles. Adam Sandler has been fortunate
to be able to bend and flex.
Right. Adam Sandler, which is what Zohan does a lot in this movie. Adam Sandler has been fortunate enough to actually own his own production company, or part of it, Happy Gilmore, and he's been able to explore a lot of different avenues.
Happy Gilmore is his movie Happy Madison.
Happy Madison.
Of Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison that came out a year apart.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, Happy Madison is the name of the company. But he owns he partially owns Happy Madison. And it's allowed him to do a lot of work. He's also done work outside of Happy Madison, which I think Uncut Gems was not a Happy Madison.
No, it was an independent company, if I'm not mistaken. But he's always delivered, no matter what it was. And to touch on Adam Sandler some more, we got to touch on his SNL days. Back when SNL was still really good.
He's an SNL alumni, just like Chris Rock, who was in the Grown Ups movies, which we're not going to talk about.
No, we're not going to talk about those.
We're not going to talk about those.
But he was brilliant then, and that's where he got his start, and that's something that we have to acknowledge while we talk about his career and his successes. Adam Sandler was one of the funniest SNL alums to date. Yeah. And he was funny on the show, which I've seen so many people on SNL that were great actors and horrible on the fucking show.
According to IMDb, Adam Sandler was on Saturday Night Live from 1990 to 1995.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
Which is a good chunk of his life. And that was back, when SNL still had some meat to it. It was a really good show back in the day.
It looks like Billy Madison came out in his final year.
Yeah, that's SNL. Roughly around the same time. Exactly. That's when he started doing more films for himself.
And Happy Gilmore came out a year after that, 96.
As we wrap up, I'd like to point out one Adam Sandler movie that I thought was good.
You can find the Jug O Sip podcast on YouTube and Spotify every Monday and Friday.
And don't forget to share, subscribe, and follow at Jug O Sip Podcast on all social media.